Hello, we're looking at section 8.6, which is the law of cosines. This is found on page 528 of your textbook. Problem number two. Problem number two is kind of working backwards from the one I've done in problem number one. And that is, we're going to use the law of cosines this time, but to find an angle and not a particular side. Because as you can see in this particular example, all three sides have been given, which we refer to that as side, side, side instead of side, angle, side. So all three sides have been given. Now, it wants us to find V, measure of angle V to the nearest tenth. Since V is right here, then across from it, this is the one that needs to go on the left side of the equal sign. So that's why we have 4.4 squared equals 7.1 squared plus 6.7 squared, which are the two on either side of the angle in question, minus 2 times 7.1 times 6.7, that's your A and C, so to speak, times the cosine of V. That's the part we don't know is this part right here, but we do know because of the law of cosines that you've got to take the cosine of it. So 4.4 squared turns into 19.36 equals 50.41 plus 44.89 minus 95.14 times the cosine of V. So all that actually turns into that right there. Now, if we combine that together, then we end up with that the cosine of V is going to be the 50.41 and the 44.89, add that together, then subtract it over to this side, and that's where they're getting this number right here, okay, the negative 75.94. They added the 50.41 plus the 44.89, get a total, subtract that over to the other side, and you're going to end up with negative 75.94. Then to get the cosine of V by itself, we're going to divide by the negative 95.14 to get the cosine of V by itself. Then to get not cosine of V, but if you want V, you've got to take the inverse cosine, which is the second cosine button on your calculator, and then just leave that as is. You could turn that into a decimal if you'd like, but it's more accurate if you just leave it the way it is. I'm going to take the inverse cosine of negative 75.94 divided by negative 95.14. And when I do, it's going to give me an angle measure of 37.04219.062. And this wants it to the nearest tenth of a degree. And so because this 4 right here is not a 5 or above, then that's just going to stay at 37.0. So the measure of angle V is going to end up being 37. Again, it's the law of cosines. The only difference is that you're solving for the cosine of V or the angle V rather than solving for one of the sides like you do when you're given an angle in between those and you're looking for a side. So it's just another version of the same process called the law of cosines. And I hope this is helpful. Good luck.